KES Industries last lap motorsport starts from third. You've got Bombshell Racing Team Odin in P4. PG13 Car 1 starts fifth, followed by Feed Esport Academy. And Skyline Racing Gold has the inside of the next row. It's a long ways up to that start line as they look for the green flag. He is not taking off quite yet. Costello bringing them slowly along, and now he is on it. Great jump by him as Diaz in the DRT car is suddenly under threat with Kingsbury on his inside. Might be able to take that away into the first corner. No, he brakes very early, or is that braking late? It looks like it is for the DRT car. Way around the outside, tries to come back onto the track as they go three wide through there. They're going to be able to pull out as we got an incident behind. Let's go to the GT4s, Chad.
Daniel Taylor leads the field for the Demon
through the S's. PG13 Car 2 with Nikhil Kupkar finding himself sent all the way to the tail of the GT3 field. There you see him in the bright green and purple Lamborghini chasing Isaac Snyder in the 13 here.
Do it as they've shown us throughout earlier in this session.
DRT lost that second place early in this race. They're trying to chase down the 52 of Ray Kingsbury's KES Industry last lap motorsports car as they come up through 10 and down into the braking. As it looks like I see Isaac Snyder. We saw him go into the pit, so he's dropping down our timing screens right now. I think that might be serving a penalty of some sort. In the meantime, as we watch them fly onto the back stretch, you can see the distance. Well, you can't really see the distance because look at the 52. He looks like he's the leader, but he is not. That is the Niao Niao car who is way up ahead. There it is.
Yeah, just a huge jump from Team Niao Niao. And that KES Industries car, Last Lap Motorsports, driven currently by Ray Kingsbury. They had their qualifying time set by Blake Reynolds. We saw them in the first race of the series. Kind of just lingered there around the top five. They were set up for a podium until that caution came out towards the end of the race. But these guys have shown pace for Team Spark, or sorry, for KES Last Lap Motorsports, and they're doing everything they can to get themselves up to the front of the field.
Turn. The 86 definitely showed his nose and actually got inside him, but couldn't out-accelerate him off the corner. Up through the S's to the top of the hill now, and once again, the DRT team wants that second place back. They're looking strong here. Does he try and make the attack down into 11, or does he save it for 12? He's going to make the attack here, but that's very deep into the turn. Can he make the corner? Yes, he can.
I think that Kingsbury was trying to pull the crossover move there, get him on corner exit, but instead did not have the muscle off the corner to do so. Now Bombshell is going to be breathing down the neck of that KES Industries machine, and that number 86 is coming fast. He wants to get up and be in the podium spots.
52 back side by side with the 30 now as they come into turn 12. But once again, DRT is going to be able to hold them off. So the last lap motorsports car gets demoted back to third. Once again, we also saw some fights with the PG13 Car 1 sister team to the one that fell to the back of this field. They were trying to see if they could go past the Feed Esports Academy car. Deschamps in that machine right now. Frantic stuff. But if you think this is crazy, DJ, wait till they catch those TCRs. And we had a problem with the last lap motorsports 52 car. It is off to the side of the first turn. He's going to get it rolling once again, but almost the whole field goes through. I'm trying to see. Yes, he had help. He got hit by Deschamps' Feed Esports Academy car.
But it's very early, and that's a costly mistake.
Ooh, it is. We'll get some information on that in a second. Oh, and Bradley Haley was off. The Sector 5 car, for some reason, oh, he got a little bit of help, it seems. He made some contact coming out of the S's, and just look at what this has done for them. Three wide up and over turn 9. Haley not fully past Ray Kingsbury, just in front of him.
Yeah, and Kingsbury, we talked about him earlier on, at 52 with their mistake, or the contact actually that they were involved with the Feed Esports Academy. And they are doing everything they can to just try to recover for that number 52 DRT machine. And interesting note, or sorry, the KES Industries machine. And that KES car, KES stands for Keep 'em Spinning. They make hand controls for accessible, to keep racing accessible for everyone involved in It basically makes adaptive sim controls what they call them, and they're trying to get to making sure that everybody able to keep their wheels spinning. That's headed up by Mario Bonfante Jr., who quadriplegic race car driver and inventor. So he does a great job just trying to make sure everybody can keep their wheels spinning.
And that's one thing I love about sim racing is it's about as inclusive as you can get. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are, that if you can get out there and wheel it, even with physical disabilities, you can get out there and be competitive. I've seen all kinds of people that are stonking fast.
Bombshell Team Loki losing 2 positions coming out of that final hairpin.
Oh my goodness, look at this. This was already a mess coming into the final corner. Thankfully, they made it through, but there's more of them going 2 and 3 wide into the first turn. At the front of it, looks like Blake Reynolds manages to get P4, and Herod behind him by a couple cars. Now they come down into the S's. This is where you really got to get single file through here, and most of them are doing so. Is Jaquez temporarily holds the lead, but he's already in pit lane. Ray Kingsbury will continue on. So the KES Industries 52 car will temporarily be out at the front.
With their sister car of Drive SVR Last Lap Motorsports right behind them as well. So they've got something figured out in the LLM garage to try to get themselves up to the front. That's where they are right now, pending the pit cycle. We'll have to see where they cycle out here in a couple laps.
4th and 5th place. And critically, it looked like that was one of our GT4 leaders that made contact in there. I think that was the one that Ayrton Williams was in before.
Into the night. So the track really likes to hold its temperature even as the ambient temp falls off. But these guys have been practicing this. They've known what times they've been trying to go for here. And this is look at Blake Reynolds in the KES 52 Spark machine. And they had a very interesting race last time. They got caught out by a caution at the exact wrong time. And unfortunately, their race ended not the way that they hoped it would. So they are hoping for a much better result this time. Blake Reynolds trying to catch right back up to these guys as well. There for the KES Last Lap Motorsports machine.
Contrasting fortunes for PG-13. They're sitting in second and only a second back from the laundry basket car. So they come down through the penultimate turn and now into the final hairpin onto the main straight. Gibson being chased by Crum, who's a lap down from him. And then you got another about a second and a half down to the 52 with Blake Reynolds. I would not bet against Blake Reynolds' pace as well. He is a champion in the majors proper. And I got to think that he is going to start to put the hammer down here, knowing that we've got one more pit stop to go. And he could win this race.
Very well could, Joe.
As O'Leary in his Lambo just ahead of Paul Gibson. Looks like Reynolds still trying to get by Kurt Crum, who is not pulling out of the way. He's not obliged to. Again, back to those blue flags. Informational only. Granted, he's not making any friends if he holds him up. Doesn't look like he's slowing him down, but he's certainly preventing any opportunity to try and overtake that number 31.
Yeah, and Blake Reynolds has made up 2 seconds on Gibson and this car of Kurt Crum in front of him. And it's just shown the pace that Blake Reynolds has. All 3 of the guys at the top of the field, actually, it looks like your entire top 5 now in the GT3s have all made their final change of tires on their last stop. So no tire changes. Looks like it's going to be fuel only for these guys on their last stop.
Can't tell if they're back or not. In the meantime, on screen, nice little battle here between 2 of our GT3 Porsches. Onto the main straight, that is Blake Reynolds. Well, sort of a battle. Blake Reynolds trying to overtake Kurt Crum. Does Kurt let him through? He doesn't defend.
Reynolds had a great run last time through turn 16, and unfortunately Crum just held him up, but he's going to go around the outside. Can he hang on to it? The back end slides out a little bit on corner exit, but it looks like he's got that move done now going into turn number 2.
Yeah, now that he sees Gibson start to pull away, he knows he's really got to get by, and he is past. So Gibson up the road by about a second. Still not seen an official word that Trent Brown has been disconnected for the PG-13 car 2, but he has been running on the oval side at the top end for at least a couple years. See if he can put those road chops to work as he goes by Jaden Hopp one more time. Still Gibson in front of him by about a second.
Blake Reynolds used the pick of a slower car perfectly, and he is now well clear of Paul Gibson for second in the GT3s.
Fantastic stuff. Yeah, that goes back to what I said, where into the S's, Gibson didn't have any place to go, and when he tried to pick a side, it was the wrong way. Around goes the 52. 3 seconds to make up to Thomas O'Leary. Does he have the pace? Check the lap times between the two of them. And it does seem like Blake's having trouble with the lap traffic because the speed does not seem to be there. And you can see him having to overtake a few cars along the backstretch. And yeah, consistently, Blake Reynolds has been losing out since lap 75.
Yeah, just not able to find clean time. He has put a little bit of a gap back to PG-13 car number 1. And this KES Last Lap Motorsports car, we saw them in the first race. They were set up for possibly the overall win, but unfortunately with the timing of the caution, ended up having them get an EOL penalty and having to come back down for emergency fuel service under caution. So that race did not end their way because they were then collected in an incident on the restart as well. So really trying to redeem themselves from last race's performance here for this KES Industries Last Lap Motorsports number 52.
Getting word that Blake Reynolds is actually in the Contender Series right now, so he's trying to fight his way back into being able to compete at the Coke Series next season. So best of luck to Blake on that one. Probably the farthest thing from his mind right now. Just ticking under 1 hour left to go. It's down to about 2.3 seconds, which is lower than what it was before.
He gained a full second back on lap 82. That's incredible. Just the way that he is able to work his way through the traffic compared to O'Leary at certain parts. And by the way, these guys going to have to pit in the next 5 laps or so.
Yeah, Thomas dealing with the traffic right now. Someone pulling off to the side. That is Batten, Guerin in the T19 car. Just letting him through, trying not to cause any sort of issues. We watch Blake Reynolds. Last lap for him, a 2:05.4. O'Leary, 2:05.7. Another 3 tenths knocked off, and he can see him up ahead.
Yeah, that interval closed to under 2 seconds now, and not to give away any strategy for the guys, but I'm hearing a bunch of confidence from the guys in the 52 car.
Not too shocked. If I had Blake Reynolds, I would feel plenty of confidence in our car. And he's going to come upon the Audi of Melnorowics and the 269, just going to let them by before Daner and the Bombshell Thor car also letting him through around the hairpin once again, gaining tons of time. 2:05.2 for Reynolds, 2:05.7, half a second quicker last time by.
And by the way, we were watching earlier the pass that Blake Reynolds was able to pull on Gibson in that PG-13 car and how it took him a couple laps to do it. Well, he is now 18 seconds. Blake Reynolds is ahead of this PG-13 car, so definitely able to show he's got the pace for it. He continues to pull away and still trying to catch back up to that Scuderia Laundry Basket number 69. Blake Reynolds within a second now. Caught a slower class car through the S's, could not find a way by was O'Leary, so Reynolds took advantage. He is now right there with about 3/4 of a second.
Is O'Leary going to fight this? He's got to do so for 41 minutes. Here, if he wants to retain the lead. Has not looked quicker than Blake Reynolds. Meanwhile, into the S's we go. It's down to 7 tenths of a second. Is this where Reynolds starts to make up time? Weaving back and forth, trying to just stay off of those pyramid curves that you see at all of the apexes. It is down to about 6 tenths of a second now. He's reeling him in.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. I think Reynolds needs to find a way by and find it quick. These guys probably going to be stopping. Here comes Blake Reynolds now.
I think this is a good decision. He was being held up, might as well come in, not try and overtake this car on the track, see if he can get some time in the pits. 38 minutes left to go, nearly to the final eighth of this race now. O'Leary, is he nervous? Is he going to try and cover him off? As we watch, Reynolds doesn't look like he's going to change drivers. He's been in there, wow, pretty much since halfway. And yeah, it looks like Reynolds and Kingsbury splitting this one right down the middle.
And it looks like just about the rest of the top five just about comes down pit road with the exception of Pete Herod. Get a lap comparison on this. Thomas O'Leary is now, Blake Reynolds now within 2 seconds of Thomas O'Leary. He has cut that lead by 4 seconds over the last handful of laps. Wow.
Impressive stuff. Okay, so Reynolds decided he didn't want to sit on that. And he is going for it. Just got 16 minutes left to go here. Our drivers got the bit between their teeth, but they've also got the lights on, trying to just see where they're going as we show you how difficult it can be from on board. Looks like down through turn 10, Blake Reynolds can see his rival up in front of him into the braking of 11. Has to make up a second and a half. Does he have it underneath him? Oh, and he's caught up. Blake Reynolds is there. And that's around the final corner to start yet another lap. 8 minutes left to go. Reynolds now has it down to 0.4 of a second. This is the closest he's been in some time. Under braking lap traffic in front of them. Lyndon Swaby is in there. Does he pull off and let him through? Yes, he does.
And Blake Reynolds just forcing the issue, peeking his nose around, and now they're just trying to weave their way around through some of these slower cars. And oh my goodness, this is close, and this is going to be some great racing between the two of them.
He cannot afford any sort of hiccups out here. Hutchison going to stay out of his way, thankfully. Just lets him through quite easily as Blake Reynolds now sees Vile potentially give him an opportunity. No, not going to be there. He is right on the rear bumper. Does he stick his nose in down into turn 11, or does he wait for the slipstream of the backstretch? A defensive move from O'Leary. He fears it right here. They're going to go side by side as the cars in front of them also going wheel to wheel. That is Bass and Roman. That is for the lead in the TCR class as well. Both the lead battles erupting at once, and they come down to turn 12. Not side by side for Reynolds, but it is behind them between Roman and Bass. It looks like Reynolds might have a shot. Another defensive move from the 69. Covers him off. Mighty on the brakes. No, too mighty. He goes deep, and Reynolds is not going to take it. Is behind him. It looks like Roman will fend off Bass.
What a fantastic battle.
It looks like 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go for the 69 car to retain the lead over Blake Reynolds. Just a few car lengths between them in the middle of the night here at Texas. Ahead of them, it is Andy Banfield in front. Is he going to let them through before they get to the S's? Hopefully, yes. Yeah, he stays off to the side. So Leary passes. Next on his list is Tavares in his own class.
The advantage of it being in his own class is it's going to take quite some time to get there. These guys going to be racing on their own, and having the opportunity for Blake to get this done without the help of traffic. Can he do it? He's got 3.5 minutes left.
Through the S's, climbing the hill and out of turn 9. O'Leary only 0.3 of a second now, and nobody to help him with the lap traffic to hold back Reynolds with a pick. They break into turn 11. Reynolds, as he's squaring it off here, looking for a better exit. I don't think he quite got it, though.
And as defensive as O'Leary has been when Reynolds has tried to make the pass, I think Reynolds knows that, and now he can see just trying to force that number 69 car into a mistake. and Reynolds trying to do anything he can to get by. Start to go through the S's here. He's not going to be able to get the move done. He's got the chance, though. Is he going to have the exit out here through the S? He clips one of the pyramid curves very hard, but he's still tucked in line right there on the back bumper, missing apexes left and right, but able to tuck right back in line behind Thomas O'Leary.
They haven't caught Tavares quite yet. Oh, a little bit of look to the inside, almost scaring him off the racing line, but he holds him back. This is as close as Reynolds has been. He's off into the dirt. He keeps his foot in it, and he's going to have the outside as they come down into turn 10. Is that where he wants to be, though? Can he cut back and get the launch? I'm not sure. He will at least get the slipstream all the way off the track. Now he's going to try and take the run down the backstretch, covering as far to the inside as he can go. Blake Reynolds is going to have to do it the long way around turn 12 as Thomas O'Leary goes defensive. Under braking, who is the bravest here? More lap traffic in front of him. It looks like Reynolds goes a little bit deeper, but is it too deep? No, he gets ahead. Thomas O'Leary cannot hold him back. Blake Reynolds is back up to the point, fighting back now. It's going to come down through the stadium section and the inside with Thomas O'Leary. The shorter line and a spin from Blake Reynolds gives it up. It is going to be Thomas O'Leary who brings it home after an incredible last lap battle and 4 hours of racing. And it was Sudaria Laundry Basket who took the win from 20th on the grid ahead of KES Industries Last Lap Motorsports. They were in the hunt for much of the race and thought that they had the pace, but they just couldn't get by on that last battle. Like we've got P2, Ray Kingsbury, who were just shy in the end. And first off, at least congratulations for the second place out there today, guys, because that was impressive stuff. Commiserations, it wasn't the win. Tell us about that last lap battle there, Blake, because we heard from your team that you didn't feel as confident in the dark. What urged you on to finally run him down?
I don't know. I think I cooled down the tires somehow or something, or I found a rhythm. Once it got nighttime, I don't know if it's I have a bad graphics driver or what, but my shadows were looking more like purple green, like I could only see the track and some of the curves. So I don't know what was going on, but I found a rhythm, I guess, and luckily his car's bright pink, so I could easily see and just follow in his tire tracks. But that last lap, that last lap was all luck. I was praying I didn't hit some sort of wall.
Regardless, you guys were in this for quite a while. Ray, from your stint, it seemed like you had things well under control as well, but you guys decided to split it perfectly in half. We see so many teams kind of swap back and forth. What made you go with this even Stevens kind of approach?
I think there's a few reasons to do it. From my perspective, it just makes sense to do so with the tires and not having to switch drivers, when you're on used tires. So that's just why we do it. But Blake drove a heck of a finish. The start of the race was a little rough for us. We got turned around twice, so it was a huge climb back up to the front of the field again, and pretty happy where the caution fell because that really helped out too.
Now, Blake, I'm hearing from my fellow commentators that you beat your brother today. Is that correct?
My brother?
No, Ray. That was Ray that did that.
Oh, Ray did. Excuse me. No, sorry. Ray, you beat your brother out there, it sounds like.
I mean, he was in the GT4 class, so I hope so.
It's a fair point.
He was also pretty bad.
All right, the claws come out. But regardless, guys, gosh, these are tough series. We saw so many drivers fall victim to getting involved in incidents, being caught out by the yellows. I mean, how do you approach races like these? How do you plan for them? Is this all just winging it, or do you come in with a strategy?
I think we came in with a good strategy. I mean, we probably practiced less for this than Motegi, but we did a lot of work on the car there to get it comfortable. And I think it's important. We built our car to work in a pretty large window, to be comfortable in a different temperature range, and that definitely helped, because you just don't know what you're going to get when you come to the race server. So, it also helps we've got great teammates. They finished in P4 as well, so lots of data going into the car between the Spark Virtual Racing, DriveSVR.com guys, and the KES Industries, all them guys. Just a lot of good work.
Well, one more for you here, Blake. You obviously are also competing in the Contender Series, trying to get back in to eNASCAR's Coke Series. How do you manage your time doing a race that takes this much effort and also time itself, while also competing at the top level here in NASCAR racing on iRacing?
Well, luckily this race is once a month, it seems, so I'm able to. And luckily, also Contender Series is off next week because of Thanksgiving. So luckily, I have a whole extra week to practice for that. So this just kind of lined up. I think I probably put in more prep than I probably would have if I did have a race this coming Tuesday. But yeah, Wednesday on, I think I did a 30 just about every night, or a full fuel stint, and then just some qualifying runs. I mostly did qualifying. Ray worked on the race because I knew I had to get us in the split. So, yeah, just it worked out like that. And yeah, but in the future, Contender might be over next time we race.
All right. Well, it was a joy watching you two compete out there, even though it didn't get you the win. Is there anybody that each of you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
You go ahead, Ray. I don't know our sponsors.
Yeah, I mean, we have great partners with Spark Virtual Racing. They make some pretty cool sim rigs, high-end stuff, and yeah, their stuff's top notch. So check them out. And then KES Industries, they make they're really into the adaptive hand controls and stuff. Ever heard the story of Mario Bonfante? That's his company, Keep Him Spinning. He's a quadriplegic race car driver. He's been delving into sim racing, so we're supporting them on our car as well, and it's a great cause, I guess, and a great business.
Well, that is a fantastic one to hear. Blake, no thank yous before you go?
Thank you, McLaren Shadow, Dead Zone Racing, eNASCAR. That's about iRacing. You guys, GSRC, you guys are awesome.
Just one more. That is Blake Reynolds and Ray Kingsbury taking second place in the KES Industries Last Lap Motorsports Machine. Unfortunately, I think everybody else is pretty much beat. I know we are, so we're going to close it out this evening.